The movie begins with an interrogation of a woman after the disappearance of two agents, Jeremy and Caleb. They handed an asset to the Russians, and the CIA tried to stop them, but they failed. They are named as traitors, and anyone that works with them is also a traitor. The woman, Banshee, is the daughter of Jeremy. That is why she was called here. Banshee's father is presumed dead in an asset transfer, but no body was ever discovered. Caleb disappeared during the ambush, and now the CIA has put a bounty of $10 million on the head of Caleb. Hearing this, Banshee got angry and slammed the woman who was interrogating her and pulled a gun on her.
That left them out there to f***ing die.
A few years later, Banshee is working as a contract killer. Her partner is a hacker called Kronos. She got into a building to find her target, a congressman. In the lobby, she shot two men who were standing by the reception. As she went up, more men came to attack her, but she quickly overpowered and killed all of them. When she entered an elevator, the elevator went up without her control. Kronos loses control of the elevator. He also can't control the camera because someone was interfering. She realized that it was a trap, but managed to take out the men waiting for her by the elevator door. The man who's attacking her is Anthony Green. She came face to face with him and learned that he was looking for Caleb. Since Caleb was her trainer, he assumed she'd know. She doesn't know either, and amidst the conversation, she managed to escape. With the help of Kronos, she got into the elevator after shooting a gas tube to cause a distraction. She took out the men on the ground floor and got into her car before the others reached her. As she was driving, Kronos asked who Anthony was, and she explained that he was a special force and he killed someone who was close to her father. She then asked him to find Caleb Navaro. Despite Kronos' hesitation, Banshee wants to find Caleb. Kronos used his hacking skills to get into the CIA and saw that the bounty on Caleb is $10 million. He asked why she didn't kill him, but she explains that he is very important to him. He asked more questions about him to know where he could be now, and they finally figured it out. Banshee decided to go to the location Kronos told her, which is a bar in Wellberg. After resting for the night, she continued her journey. She reached the bar and saw Caleb by the bar.
Mornings are quiet.
As soon as he saw her, he asked her to bring the shade down and put his gun on the table. She tried to tell him that she was not there to kill him, but to warn him. With a bounty of $10 million, Anthony Green is after him. She doesn't want to let him get away this time, and she can't take his men by herself, so she needs his help. After this conversation, Caleb put his gun back in the drawer as a sign of peace. Caleb took Banshee to his house. They were greeted by his daughter, Haley, who pointed a gun at them when they first came. Caleb told her that everything was fine and took the gun.
Haley, come on, give me that.
Meanwhile, Anthony and his people went to Kronos. They were there to find the whereabouts of Caleb. Anthony offered $1 million to Kronos in return for Banshee's whereabouts. Kronos asked to be his new cyber guy instead, and Anthony agreed.
Let's make this deal.
Back in Caleb's house, Banshee learned that Haley's mother is dead. Haley asked why Banshee doesn't know about her mom if they were really close, and she follows this up with a series of confrontational questions. Caleb then ordered Haley to go to her room and sat with Banshee to talk. She asked about the time her father died. Caleb doesn't want to talk about his past, but Banshee pleads because she wants to know about Anthony's involvement in her father's death. He confirmed that Anthony was there. Banshee wants Caleb to fight with her against Anthony. Caleb, though, doesn't want to disrupt this quiet life he has built for himself here. He then gave her files he has of her dad to help. Banshee spent the night going through the files. She read about the operation where her father had died. The next morning, Caleb joined her. Banshee thinks that her father was still alive because they didn't recover the body, but Caleb kept telling her he saw him go down. After getting the information about where Banshee is, Anthony and his team head there. Anthony gave his team instructions on how they would handle the situation. Banshee kept reading the file. During the operation, the woman they were going to hand off started getting paranoid, and Jeremy and Caleb attempted to calm her down, but it didn't do much to the situation. Back in present, Banshee got up from the table after reading the file and started looking through her framed photographs of Haley's mother. Haley approached and asked why she was really there. Even though Banshee claimed that she needed Caleb's help, they were not doing anything, and that was why Haley was suspicious. She also read the files on the table, and she thinks Caleb is in danger. Meanwhile, Anthony's men had reached Caleb's bar, but he quickly became aware of the situation. The others were going to Caleb's home. Banshee saw them through the window, and, at the same time, Caleb called to warn them. Banshee told Haley to get her gun and get ready for attack. Back at the bar, Caleb closed the window and turned his attention to the men sitting there. He then told them that they were bad actors and started his attack. He easily took out most of them and started shooting at the rest. Another shootout started in the house when the men got inside. Banshee shot at them and took them one by one. Haley is also armed with her gun and hiding behind a couch. When she saw a man approaching, she got up and killed him. As she was looking at the body, another one appeared and attacked her. He overpowered her, but thankfully, Caleb arrived just in time to save her. Banshee is also killing her fair share of men. She slit the throat of the man that she was fighting and headed upstairs. Caleb called for Haley, who was laying unconscious. She got up and went to him, but he was badly injured. He told Banshee to tell Haley the truth and told Haley that she is the best thing that has ever happened to him. And after saying this, he succumbed to his injuries and died on Haley's lap. Banshee and Haley stood side by side, and Haley asked what Caleb wanted her to know. Banshee began explaining the situation. The CIA had sent a man named Anthony to kill them, accusing them of being traitors who were selling witness intel to the Russians. Banshee explained that the agency wanted them out of the way because they were getting old, too powerful, and knew too much. Banshee continued, explaining how Caleb went into hiding after the attack. Her father had been shot, and Anthony's brother had been killed. Haley wanted to know if there was a plan, and the two went inside to come up with one. Haley showed Banshee Caleb's gun collection, and they started getting ready for the attack that was coming. While they waited, Haley asked Banshee about Caleb, curious to understand what he had really been like. Banshee paused, reflecting on the question. She explained that Haley likely knew Caleb better than anyone, but she had known a different side of him. Haley pressed further, wondering which version of Caleb Banshee had encountered. He was the strong, tough man who presented himself as a badass, someone with a hard exterior. But beneath that, there was a softer side. Haley wondered why Caleb had never mentioned her or her mom to her. Banshee told her it was because he was protecting them. As they were talking, a car came. They both pointed their guns, but Banshee quickly realized that they were using thermal and hugged Haley so that they would register as one person. Her plan worked because Anthony keeps looking at one person instead of two. They looked everywhere, but there was no other person. Anthony and his people think it is a trap, so Anthony decided to use Kronos to threaten her. He pulled him out and pointed a gun at his head. Haley asked Banshee to do something, but Banshee didn't want to take the shot because Anthony is the only one he knows about her father, and she can't kill him. Kronos shouted to Banshee to kill Anthony and to now worry about him, but Anthony shoots him in the head.
3 more.
Anthony then ordered his men to get in the back, but they were ambushed by explosives that Haley and Banshee had set up. Using a sniper, Haley shoots a man next to Anthony, startling him. He ordered more of his men to rush to his house, and a fire exchange ensued. Haley keeps on throwing grenades at Anthony's men, but they kept kicking them before they explode, so Banshee told her to hold them a little before throwing them. She did as she was told, and she successfully eliminated the men who were shooting at her. Seeing his men were dying, Anthony got out of the car along with his assistant. Anthony, with his other 2 people, heads to the house. He came face to face with Banshee, and the other 2 went from behind, cornering her. Banshee proposed a deal. She will tell him where Caleb is, if he tells her where her father is. The other 2 went upstairs to get Haley, but she managed to fight. Anthony also lowered his gun and agreed to do it the old-fashioned way, which is hand-to-hand combat. Anthony and Banshee started fighting. He overpowered her and started hitting her aggressively, but Haley, having finished her 2 attackers, came to the rescue. She shot Anthony from behind, and he fell to the ground. Banshee picks up her gun and shoots him in the head, ending his life. After the ordeal, Banshee and Haley sat on the couch. Haley mentioned that she had been shot, and Banshee acknowledged it, noting that she had been shot too. Banshee reassured her that it was just a flesh wound, and she'd be fine. Haley then asked what came next, wondering if more people would be after them. Banshee explained that it was likely, depending on where they went and who they pursued. For now, though, she suggested they get a cocktail and a steak in a hotel room. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.